Good morning, everybody. Let's play some music and then let's start and jump into today's readings. And let me see, is this playing? I guess it is. Okay. See you in a few minutes. Saf is here. What up, girl? Aww. Safi, you're going to say good morning to everybody? Huh? Will you say morning, morning? Huh? Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Meow. Hi, Kylie. Hi, Kelsey. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Chris. Knitting Yogi is here. Ooh, Barbie was the first. Here, show your pretty face. Show your pretty face. So guys, how was your week? We had the first snowfall in Toronto and it was, I guess, nice. Like, I mean, you cannot refuse to kind of like enjoy that first kind of like snow, and Tiger was really enjoying it. So I had to spend lots of time outside because in the summer he just doesn't care much for it. But in the winter, that's lovely. But yesterday we got rain, so it melted everything. And apparently we are getting white Christmas about 10 days early. So in about mid-December, it's going to be a significant snowfall, probably a foot. So what do we have? We have a dog, cat conversation over there behind me. Okay, guys, I only slept 3 hours and 20 minutes, so I'm a little tired, I'll admit. It's one of my unpredictable insomniac nights that really happened. So I'm going to be focused 3 cards each sign, starting with, of course, the birthday girls and boys. Kylie, happy birthday. And when is yours exactly? I need to check. I wanted to check that before, but Kylie is here, I think. No, the birthday girl, the next one. Barbie just finished. Chris is going to be the next, right, from what I see. All right, let's see. sorry about coughing. You are getting a jumper, and actually I did get as a present, this is called Before Tarot. So you're getting 2 jumpers. I thought it was 1. So it's actually really what happened before it's shown in a card. So kind of clarifies entire intention. Oh, we have another Saggy. Hey, Saggy. So did you guys have a situation that you feel that somebody tries to trick you, or that maybe you're not paying enough attention, or maybe this can be a wake-up call to tell you, look, oh, that's right, 16, you're like, I mean, the third decan, just like me. And so look at this, like he's just going to kind of like fall into it, but is somebody going to pull? So there is like something that maybe a form of a setup has been made for you of some sort. Whether or not the person is going to be at the right time, in the right place, that's going to be a really big question. But also, if you think you're getting away with something, you really need to start thinking again about it, because look what is in the next scene. In the next scene, and almost like he's looking at this guy, he's saying, well, he's not really looking at it. And he is, and this is, oh, is this after or this is before? I thought I grabbed before. Wait a minute. It doesn't matter. We'll continue with this. Oh my goodness, this is after. Oh, and I wanted to do before. Okay, let's do one more, and then I'm going to, I guess I had one deck next to another. I was comparing in the morning, and I grabbed the wrong one for the reading, but I just really want to do before. So I guess you're Sagittarius because it's your birthday. You're going to get a third card here. Ooh, it's a soulmate card. So this is actually after. And give me a second. I'm going to get before. I think it's confusing because the background is the same. Just a sec. Holy moly. Holy moly. Look what I had. I had this, and I just realized they're actually not the same. So I didn't even have this card in the deck, so which is interesting. But Saggies, I'm going to get 3 cards here as well. Just kind of want to shuffle them. I shuffled the heck out of these before I started. And the last one is 2 of Cups. It is really telling me that there is maybe a missed opportunity, that you are the one kind of like pushing somebody away. Maybe you're the one not seeing evolution in somebody or in some kind of like person. It's really interesting because this is kind of like, to me, almost like 2 of Cups seen, yet it is like 2 of Wands. It is like, I am not looking on my own, we are looking at it. It's like, so he was looking for his world, and now he's saying, in my own world, I cannot imagine it without you being there as well, right? So, oh my gosh, Kylie is almost like before graduation. So this one is Queen of Pentacles. And look at it, there's a temptation, kind of like, are you going to get it? So it really tells me that you're kind of like forming your personality, forming your authenticity, forming where you feel that you belong. Let me grab one more over here. You're getting the Star. So that is that hopefulness. That is like everything that is coming through. That is like kind of like really believing. This is just kind of like the moment before the nourishment where she's still kind of like hesitant in which direction to go. But you know, like there is like still kind of like that entire hopefulness and enthusiasm that she actually has inside of her. And of course I didn't put a timestamp. Usually when I'm tired, and I never know when I'll be tired, that's the problem, right? It happens on me. But I'm going to put it here. Let's go, something like this. It happens on to me, so it is what it is. So we will continue with this one, but I really need to shuffle it before I even go anywhere. So, see, they're still stuck, even though I was just really comparing them as much as I could. But so like now, guys, we are having a new deck. Sometimes it's a good news and sometimes it isn't a good news. We will see. Sometimes a new deck, it feels like a glove. One of the decks that always fit like a glove is Lenormand. Always. It's just no problems. But the more you use it, the more it gives you. It also depends who do I read for in that deck, because from time to time, I guess they can absorb, pardon me, the energies of the others, and this is not the greatest thing, but we'll see. So now I'm just trying to create enough experiences here. I like lilies and roses, memories of love, so that's really amazing. All right, so I'm satisfied for now. So let's see who is next. The next one is Pisces. Let me find your card. Pisces. your stamp. And let's go. What can you tell me for Pisces for the upcoming week? Something flicked. And also, guys, there will be no live on the 26th. That's the Boxing Day in Canada. It's a holiday. But I will have it, I think it's 2nd, so we can all celebrate New Year's. And this one wanted to come out. Oh my goodness, Pisces. This is kind of like something in sync with you. So what do we see here? And this is the before tarot. So he is still a ruler over here. Maybe he's a little bit grumpy, I would say. This is his foot, Mr. Taurus over here. And almost like looks like he's reassessing what his kingdom is providing. But something is going to occur here. Something is going to be provided in order for him to kind of like come in this balance, come into this stuff. Usually King of Pentacles is very, very patient, right? And he kind of like rules with his patience, slow and steady wins the race kind of a thing, right? And so hence the Temperance is always kind of like toning things down, even making things work where otherwise things maybe wouldn't be workable. Maybe sometimes it's very temporarily. But this is a huge suggestion for you guys, because the High Priestess is suggesting you really need to be just who you are this particular week. Just be yourself, follow your own intuition, just continue with kind of like what you really need to do. So the High Priestess is also kind of like sometimes silence. Maybe you just need to kind of calm down all the chatter. Maybe a lot of them is happening in your head. And usually meditation or prayer, or even in your case, some kind of like help or volunteering would do. But in any case, this is kind of like telling me that you will be able to sort, the kind of crappy parts from the good parts in a really good way. And it's going to be a kind of a healing week where you're going to feel that you're really coming to your own and feeling okay. Even though I really have to tell you, the beginning of the week is not that favorable, but it really, really gets better and better and better as it goes on. So my dear Pisces, you are going to really, really like it. All right. So, hi Kathy, how are you? And so that was done. So the next one is Taurus. We have Libra next. Madame Barbie is a Libra. So let's put the Libra stamp here, over here. And find your little things, so people who are clicking through. Yeah, guys, and I removed the monetization over here because on my end I never see it, but I can imagine like it is probably a noise you're stopping every so often for commercials. So let's remove that. So let's see. Libra. We have, and here it is really interesting because there is like this proverbial 8 of Swords. Somebody kind of like pushing her and her not being certain about where she's going and handling. So what you guys have is 8 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, and Queen of Pentacles reversed. Maybe this week, and so really beware of spending. I really think you're feeling that that you're perpetuating something, that maybe you're putting yourself in a situation that is not easy to remedy, but it is. It's actually really easy to remedy. This actually entire week is calling for your financial acumen. It's calling for the ability to kind of like understand that maybe you need to start looking into things. Maybe you're saying, oh, well, I'm in debt anyway, so let's pile on a little bit more. But trust me that even a little bit more is going to be hard to get rid of later. So this is what it is calling for. Look, she's blindfolded and she's being guided somewhere. But the whole point is that the entire wrapping around her is actually very loose. But nonetheless, she's feeling really discomfort in the situation, and she kind of like doesn't know where her kind of like chips will fall, what's going to happen over here, because in this situation he's not juggling, he's just trying to see also where this is going to land. But what I really like in this card is like, or rather to say, he's like pushing it up, both of them, so he's not allowing one to come down, another one to come up. So in this stage, what I really like about it is he's fully focused on it. So he's not and he's focused in one direction, which is like much stronger than kind of like dispersing in different directions. But nonetheless, this could be either you that you're going to feel, oh my gosh, yes, I need to kind of like finish this and this and this and this. Maybe you're going to get a little panicky. Maybe you're going to get a little bitchy, as they say, about it. Or you might have somebody like it coming in your life who is going to kind of like you're already feeling tense. You're already feeling, oh my gosh, there's like so much to do. How will I do it? Feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And then, like, I mean, somebody's coming and storming in your world. Like, really, you'll have no patience whatsoever for that. So, kind of like, keep this in mind. Hello, Jennifer. We have two Jennifers in a row. Nice to see you. Hello, Caturday. Nice to see you guys. Nice. I guess I have to put this stuff on Instagram and Facebook early, like later, just a few minutes before the live, so more people are able to remember that it's going to happen in a few minutes. So that was Libra. The next one. And sorry guys, today is like very concise. I'm just really going for it because of lack of sleep. I just, as you notice, just trying to pull as much as I can energy from me. And then we have Gemini. It's kind of like really weird. Like when I looked at it, it almost like said to me invited. Invited word flashed through my kind of like sphere. So there is going to be something like that. Let me put a stamp for you here. Are you guys going anywhere? Is there something that is happening? I had to drive to a different town to go and sit down with my friend. How's for that? Like, I mean, this is like we are in a lockdown. But Gemini, usually you defy everything. So you have 8 of Wands reversed, and you have 5 of Cups, and oh my gosh, Death in white. Let me just get your thingy here. Because 8 and 5 is also 13, right? So there is like some essence about commitment. Maybe the strength, and I don't know what, like, I mean, this is simply Scorpio, but it's also like, I mean, there is like something about attraction that is happening, and maybe that attraction is fizzling out, or somebody's looking for really kind of like skin deep attraction in the situation. And I really don't think this is you. On the surface, we air signs appear to the others really superficial, but we are really not. We just kind of give this airy persona where we really want to see that people really start giving us more and more layers later. So this is kind of like that light approach to everything with this 8 of Wands. There's something called arrows of love, and look at this like little salamander that is kind of curling up over here, but they're reversed. So when they're reversed, they talk about delays and talk about things that really don't happen the way we want it. Like, I mean, you really want to eat steak, but somebody brings you, I don't know, something that doesn't serve your palate at that moment, right? And this is really interesting card over here, and this is like about spilled milk, right? Because look, like, I mean, this is the last one spilled, but you know, there is like kind of like this essence of what's going on. And the kitty cat has this kind of playfulness. This is literally suggesting here that it is milk, even though it is green for some reason, and the bridge is white. So that is clearly connecting. The green is really talking about ability to kind of like look for the predators, right? And that's the color that we see more than any other color in the spectrum. Versus the white is that kind of like lift yourself above it. And there is like this sense of looking back. But in this particular thing, like like, I mean, the regular rider Waite, like we have 3 of them kind of like drop. So there is like some kind of like salvaging of something that is really happening. So maybe something starts with misunderstanding, or somebody is not coming through as they should be, or you're expecting some results, you're expecting something to be resolved, or you are not communicating well. Remember how I said invite, or maybe you're expecting invitation that somehow doesn't come, and then there is like this disappointment happening. But this death card says you need to literally get over it. Literally, that can mean just like simple as that. Once when you get over it, you enter a new phase, and that phase is good. You're transforming into something better. You are kind of like shifting and raising above your own boundaries, right? And I really want to here clarify for this because of these 2 black cards. So I'm not going to clarify every single one, but you are getting some money, and it is reversed. This is also about secrets. There is something that you're going to find this week. Maybe that invite is not necessarily directed toward you. Maybe something will be taking place. Doesn't even have to necessarily mean within your own scope of your own acquaintances, but it's going to be something that is going to be affecting you in a really, really profound way. So be ready to be disappointed, but you also be ready that you'll be able to land back on your feet. So try to kind of like not to take it too personally, because something is in it. Whenever you have that upright, it's actually good. It means that you're moving on, that you're pushing things forward, and things are actually working out, and they're working out in a much better way than would be otherwise. Hey, CBO Music, good to see you, sweetie. Good to see you. Did you have all the snow melted on your end? Oh, then we have us, Aquarians. Aquarians. Let's put a stamp for my Aqua girls and boys. Here we go. That's awesome. Look at how many mods are showing up today. That's amazing. So Aquarius, what's up for Aquarians for this upcoming week? This one. Ooh, Ten of Swords. Look at this Ten of Swords. Isn't this one amazing? Like usually when I see Ten of Swords in my reading, I kind of cringe. But I'm not cringing this time around. Ooh, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. It is about relationships for us. It is about connections for us. It is about how do we move on from something that we felt it bogged us down. Again, I have 2 black cards, right? Again, I have something that is pushing through, but this is also a really positive card over here as well. So we have this darkness where the night is really coming, like the day is slowly kind of revolving, and this dead body that we kind of like had in the regular Ten of Swords is either buried or that didn't take place. There is like now kind of like just a memory. It's just like pretty much like the grave as you would kind of like tend to think. So he is at this stage paying his respect and moving on. And there is this red cape. To me, this is kind of like significance of something really, really, really good happening, right? And he is really looking at the new scene. So there is like this sun in the full blossom over here. But check out what we have here. We have 19, 29. So there is like this number of 11. There is like some kind of like healing for us Aquarians. We're going to feel very, very powerful. So whether you have a child or sibling, or you need to give yourself a little bit of self-nourishment, please do that. Because look at this child here is blossoming here in the sun, and we have like this pyramid here. It's going to be also financially a very prosperous week over here, and we are going to land on our feet, and some things are going to get resolved. Maybe we are feeling in some respect that we fell behind, because usually this card has this kind of like influence, you kind of like struck down. But look at this one. This to me is like one of the saddest cards in the entire deck, but not in this one. Usually it shows these two people who are wounded, who are obviously poor and penniless, kind of like walking by the church and not looking for a shelter. Now we see the church has closed down and the doggo is coming, just like attracted to the light. So that means there's like certain level of loyalty. Maybe we felt that somebody left us behind, somebody maybe doesn't think much about us, doesn't kind of like cherish us. But in this card, I think this kind of like light, which we see everywhere, is the hope. So another way of interpreting this, my dear Aquarians, would be that maybe we are a tidbit depressed. Any Aquarian over here online right now, guys, it would be good to hear from somebody else as well. Needing Yodi's Aqua rising. That can indicate a little bit of tidbit depression that is actually lifting. And lifting, and it's going to go a little bit through the phases, going up and down, but it is moving forward. So there are two black ones. Let me clarify. Widower. It's also a good thing. Like, I think this is really connecting over here. Widower really talks about finishing mourning. Oh my gosh, I cannot even speak English. I cannot speak anything today. So it's that period where we kind of like really need to compose ourselves, but we usually kind of avoid people. We are trying to kind of like lick our wounds. And the moment when we can actually go to the grave and pay our respect over here, that moment is usually when we are able to lift our spirits, when we are able to move on, when we are able to kind of like understand that, you know, this is just our own selfish way of looking at the physical loss, right? I know it's easier said than done, but kind of like this is kind of like what it is. And this is kind of acceptance of a certain situation. It's like you cannot change things that you don't accept. So this is that acceptance part over here. The only thing I would say, guys, that is slightly indicated, be careful of, I guess, traffic, because this can also indicate accident or some kind of like suffering, which I think it could be that way. Also, don't make foolish, I guess, economic investments, I would say, over here. So it's kind of like only important to understand that this card is kind of like some cards are talking about the endings, right? This card is talking about ending. This card is talking about the ending. And this card is talking about the ending. But this is the card 19, and 1 and 9. So it's really interesting. So 1 is the beginning and 9 is the ending. So there's like something that is like almost like separating. We are separating cream from the milk. And I really think that we really need to feel a little bit humbled in this entire situation, because it looks like that we've been through something that could be hard, could be strenuous, could be unpleasant, but this is really telling me that kind of this is over. It's not going to have this big deaths of depression, because we are getting out of it, but it still is going to kind of like have a little bit like ripples and waves about that. So let me see what my people are saying. CBM Music, hubby is Aqua rising Capricorn sun. He's feeling much better these days. He was laid off this summer and really feeling down. I know this is specifically hard on men. Well, at least, you know, we have to be grateful that we are in Canada. We do have some support from the government in that respect, not to mention the healthcare. But this pandemic is not getting any better. So I hope it improves for him big times. And one more. Sagittarius, we did you first. So, ooh, he found it again. This is really, really good. Well, that's a success story, CBO Music. And the next one that we have here is Taurus. Let me put a stamp. My dear Taurus. Here we go. Let's see what is from my dear Tauruses. That's amazing, because everybody's talking about, oh my gosh, I have been laid off, I cannot find work. And look at that, it's somebody who is finding stuff. I have another friend of mine, he got laid off from his banking job. And just don't even ask me how. He applied for jobs all over the world. Like now, when the traveling is like really not recommended or not even allowed. and he got a job teaching in Dominican Republic, and he just flew there last month. It was just crazy. Hello, angel fish. Hello, Taurus. You have the High Priestess. Hello. Ooh. Then we have Ace of Wands reverse, and we have again, Five of Cups coming up over here. Interesting. Interesting. Why? And again, I have like two kind of black cards. This is half black, but we'll still have to do some clarification. Taurus, this is really telling me about commitment is the key word over here for you. High Priestess comes with some kind of like royal silence, blah. Silence. And the High Priestess is coming also with elegance, and that elegance is not necessarily in her clothing. That elegance is in her demeanor. I can't really talk. Clearly not like what I'm doing right now. This is not elegant. It's kind of like completely different. And the High Priestess is like weeding out kind of like right from wrong, even though she is not communicating at all to people who are doing something wrong or who are not serving us. It's kind of like the best possible approach that usually we have in situations we have our ego triggered. Eckhart Tolle calls it pain body. She kind of like, when she sees this pain body, she says you still have to go maybe through more pain, because usually pain body can push you into kind of like that enlightenment. But those of you who are already kind of like pure, or who are ready, who are willing to humble yourself, then I'm going to put you here. So that's why it's really talking about the suffering, right? And the Ace of Wands is really telling me that maybe somebody from the past is trying to get through, but this is only pissing you off. This is only making you both angry and sad. Maybe you're feeling sad and angry because something didn't work out and could have been. Maybe there was like miscommunication or no communication, that things haven't been discussed properly. But in any case, it is like some kind of like level of diplomacy that hasn't been applied. Maybe you're looking in retrospect how this is all kind of like happening and whatnot. And again, this card which we had like previously, like usually in the regular deck, the 3 cups are down, but here the 2 are up. So this is kind of like, get back on your feet, get back, look into that, right? Somebody's taking advantage of this. So don't cry over spilled milk. Another observation that I had over there, the milk is green and the bridge is white, right? So what does that mean to me? Like, I mean, white is this purity, and it's kind of like, hey, are you going to come through this, like going from this complete blackness to white, which means we need to shed our own prejudice, our own kind of like bigotry, right? Biases. So which for that, it takes lots of self-awareness, and not only self-awareness, but catching yourself in the act, because if you don't, it just like comes out anyway. So the green is like also very predatory color, right? It's the color that we see more than any other color. So here is that kind of like being aware that simple just people prey upon us. That can also tell me that maybe you have been dealing with somebody who is a narcissist, because they do have predatory nature, and maybe that you're hoping that somebody will change or would change, and they quickly show you, no, I'm still the same, and that kind of like comes through as very, very disappointing. Yeah, it is about some love or lost love, or maybe you're dreaming about love. Maybe you're a little bit disappointed that nobody's coming through that could be like, I mean, somebody who would be a really perfect fit. But clearly it's telling me that you really want to feel this connection and love and comfort. So guys, you really need to trust yourself. You're going to feel very, very instinctually right, and you're going to make the right decisions. So just go on in that direction and behave that way. All right, so let me catch up here. Kelsey, I'm self-employed, loads of work. I had medical emergency. Oh, sorry to hear this. And I haven't been able to work for 3 weeks. Surgery, coming, and then another 6 weeks. But my friends and colleagues rallied around me and I received so many unexpected donations, so I should at least be able to keep my bills paid. It's very humbling, right, when this happens. And which country are you in, Kelsey? Like, I mean, this is like so amazing. Honestly, most of us don't have friends like that. So you should really consider yourself very, very happy. I'm, however, picking up your vibrations as very, if I say low, it's going to sound horrible, but Safi, I don't mean to mean it horrible. I mean like you really feel that there's that humbleness. There's like this base chakra. You're fully in. You're still working through it. That's kind of like how I feel. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? You're right. Barbie is right. Barbie is the one who can order me around anytime. Oh, it's the US. Yeah, guys, you should get what we get over here, $2,000 a month until this is over, just to keep you afloat. This is not that much money, right? But it helps. All right, so let me block this. You guys ask a question. Imagine a question. I'm not going to use this deck because it's similar, but I can use this one. I'm using Dreaming Way Tarot. Okay, come. Just listen to Barbie's guidance, how to ask this question. I have a sip of coffee. All right. We have a door number 1. We have door number 2. And we have a door number 3. Okay. Of course, I didn't put a stamp. So, guys, if you ask for door number 1, you have a King of Cups. Most likely, this is basically about some emotional engagement in a situation. Something is feeling that you really need to kind of like finally feel that you're able to relax, that you're able to breathe. There is like also somebody who is really willing to listen, who is really willing to hear, and who is also willing to spend time. So this is really overwhelming, yes. Unless you're really asking for something that has to happen very fast, right? And you want some immediate results. In that case, it will be no, because this really has to percolate when King of Cups shows up. For door number 2, we have Knight of Swords. And with Knight of Swords, this is clearly, there's like some kind of like focus. You already know the steps that you need to take, and you're already kind of like anticipating steps, how somebody else needs to kind of like do them. The ending is not over clear over here, meaning something will happen in the meantime, and that something most likely will be positive for you. But the ending is still not firm. This is still kind of like very fluid what's going to be happening. So keep that in mind. And the door number 3 is 5 of Pentacles. That's a no. 5 of Pentacles is the door is closed. You're waiting for something or somebody who didn't put you as a priority. So there's like some kind of reckoning that needs to kind of like take place. You need to kind of like understand that maybe it's the best to cut your ties, cut your losses, because this cannot kind of like germinate some kind of productive tree when somebody is not really supportive like that. And you showed up with your little sound. With your little sound, can I take this? And now I have the cards for the mods. And Kyla, that's a good advice. And for anxiety is also, well, it's normal to expect anxiety. See, anxiety you'll experience when you're like either in the past or in the future, mostly in the future anxiety, or sorry, fear in the future, anxiety from the past. So you need to focus, just like as Kelsey said, in the moment. And that's breathing is like, just if you think about in and out, you cannot feel any of those negative emotions because you're staying present. In the present tense, you cannot feel it. All right, so let me just, before I look in the other one, go with the order of appearance, my mod cards. So Barbie was first today. Meeting Yogi, she jumped in before you. And we have depth. So you're feeling comfortable in some kind of element. You're protected. You have the tools. You have the gear. So just go for it. If there is a question of should I not, you know, like how it's what we saw it in Libra, it's kind of like think, no, just go for it. Kind of like big dive, and just all is going to be well. The next one is knitting yogi. Knitting yogi. And we have acceptance. Look at this big welcome sign. Something is really going to clarify for you this week. You're going to feel comfort and going to feel, I don't know why, but I kind of like perceived light coming through this gateway, and it's kind of like a feeling of peace. There is like something that is really changing, and it's really qualitative change that is happening. And then my friend Chris is next. Good morning. You, Chris, have discernment. And I really like there's a little doggo here in a sport car, and I don't know what sport car this is. It looks like a mini Porsche to me. You always get these really cool cards, but this is still talking about should I go back. It's not even the fork in the road, but it's almost like should I go back where I came from, or should I move forward? So it's going to be some kind of like we're going to see when you get to Capricorn reading, what is this all about happening. And then I have Kylie. Australia is in the house, and Kylie, you have light, and it's feeling uplifting, it's feeling healing, and you're a healer, right? So that's kind of like all that is really encompassing over here. It's almost like a compliment when you kind of like draw this this thing over here. Kati almost looks like, are you Kati Seppas? Are you in Toronto? I think I know one Kati Seppas. It's weird. And did I draw all? I think so. I'm just going. Oh no, CBO music is here. CBO music. Let's see. We have support. You see, just as you said, looks like you're really big support to your husband, and it looks like it's also vice versa. And there's like some kind of like teamwork that can actually push things forward. So this is also very lovely that is happening. And if I forget any of my mods, please let me know. So let's continue. Let's continue. Welcome, guys. Let's continue. We are going to have Virgo. There we have knitting yogi, right? You're Virgo. Any other Virgo in the house? Let me see. All right, Virgo, let's find your thing here. Ooh, that one flew out, and it is Ten of Pentacles. It was going this way, I don't know if you've seen it, and then it shifted and it made you turn. And so this is something, it's telling me about the family. That could be inheritances. Well, let me just get other two cards to put it more in perspective. Vancouver Island. Oh my God. Hello, Canada. So we have what? 3 Canadians over here online. So that's freaking awesome. That finally we are kind of coming here in bigger numbers. So it's nice to see you, Lynn. And also it's always nice to see that Canadians are willing to be a little emotional support for our American friends, because we all can need it. And also Kyle is always a support for everybody, as well as all the mods. So this is really good. So we have like this clarified with this another kind of like 10 vibration, but check it out what's happening. As I said, it's a kind of like multi-layer card. So I didn't know if it's really talking about just a family or kind of like getting together. You're probably really, because you're Virgo, and I know it's only 5th of December, but you're already you're going through your to-do lists. You're going kind of figure out, I have to get this one for this one for this one for this. I bet that you guys will be making the greeting cards list and kind of like seeing who gets it, like I mean the paper card, who gets it basically via email. You're already kind of like thinking about it. Interestingly enough, here it's 8 of cups. It's after, sorry, is it before, is it after? This is, I guess, before, or no, I'm so confused, but like I'm going to go with what kind of like my intuition told me. It's almost like that, you know, this creature, this person here walks away in this particular irregular deck. I feel this person did come back over here. There was like replenishing the thirst. So maybe there was some kind of miscommunication, to put it politely, that maybe you're like, I mean, beating around the bush with somebody. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who is prickly. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who maybe needs your help, but it's needing help all the time, and you're not seeing the end of it, and hence now you're trying to figure out how to do it. Maybe you're a caregiver. That can also mean here, and that is kind of like becoming draining. It's very thankless job, I really have to tell you. I'm a caregiver for my dad, and everybody's just dumping on you basically in a situation. It could be a multitude of things. I also think it could be a situation where there is like a disturbance of, it could be mental health issues, or it could be maybe even possible physical manifestation of a disease, but it's kind of like rooted in psychosomatic kind of like attitudes, kind of like it gets better when the person starts feeling more optimistic. But overall, from what I'm seeing, you are kind of like getting some push forward. So let me see, 1929. So there is like this healing component here again that we see, and this is like 37. So it's all adding to one. There is like, this is vibrational one. It's also 1 and 0, which means take a chance, enjoy it. So this is a family that kind of like brought you here, all the ancestral powers that you have, that kind of like deem the respects that we need to pay them. But this seems to be our own family. Whether or not you have children, this can basically denote us and how we see the world and what we want to leave for the world. And don't think in terms that you need to now become a celebrity to make a kind of like a mark. You know, like, I mean, just last week, Rosa Parks was basically celebrated. Like, all she did was basically sitting firmly in a section that she felt she should be. It is true she was an activist even before that, but you can see how simple, small steps of defiance can actually really go very, very far. The sun to me is also a commitment. You might be dealing with Leo guys here as well, or with earth signs. That is kind of like strongly signified here as well. There is like certain power that you'll be exuding this particular week, but there's going to be kind of combined with some kind of like generosity in a situation. So whether this is going to be you leaving bygones be bygones, or it's going to be just some kind of like really easy resolution of something that can actually move forward. Okay, so you're a Leo with Virgo in your chart. So that's basically what came through. I didn't even look at the comments. Good to see that. The next one is Scorpio. Scorpio, like right after your birthday. Usually that period right after our birthday, we are like a little bit of blah kind of a thing, and we're a little bit tired because of all the huge energies now expanded. But let's see what the cards bring for you over here. Scorpio. Oops. We have Justice reversed. Are you having somebody chasing you to pay something? There's like a 6 of Pentacles here. And Temperance. There are 2 major arcanas for you, Scorpio. So this astrologically can denote Libra or also Aries because it's reversed, and this actually really talks about Sagittarius on this end. So this again, like, I mean, it's 14 and 6 is 20. That would be karma card. That would be judgment card, right? So it's judgment combined with justice. So this is like something really, really powerful coming through. Certain things need to be placed in balance. And this is almost like these 2 majors are kind of coming through. This one is saying, I'll make you do this. And this one is saying, just hold on. We can make it work. because justice generally with her sword, she has either cutting out or cutting in. So either you're going to get punished or somebody else is going to be cut off. But Empress is saying, no, not so quick, right? We can try to figure out maybe something completely new that is going to kind of like happen in a situation. What is also very important, this is really happening right now during the sun in Sagittarius, that this card is coming through. So after the 20th, you actually do have some kind of like upper hand that can be and will be very, very beneficial for you. And also this Six of Pentacles over here in the middle, it's really talking about reaching out. Like this lady said, right? Like, I mean, reach out to people and friends. They actually do support you. They do help you. And something of that kind, maybe you're going to feel also that you're part of some kind of fundraiser, or that you're applying for something and that you get some funds from somewhere. Generally, this is really talking about things coming through. But this can also talk about, for example, promotion. This can also talk about kind of like getting like plentiful rewards. But, and this is like not a big deal for you, patience is really, really important. Also, just a little bit of note on justice over here. When it's reversed, it feels like that you're on the receiving end of something that, oh my gosh, why am I getting all the crap? And this card in combination is saying turn the other cheek. So if you're feeling you're already receiving, don't try to combat it, because you're going to start getting just a little bit more. Instead, just relax, or just try to withdraw yourself from the situation and just see where the chips fall, because that's going to be the turnaround that you really need in this situation. So that's, my dear Scorpio, but it's going to be very, very important week. Hello, Lorna. You're not late. You just missed the mod cards. But, okay, I'm going to Lorna just draw a really quick card because you just missed it. I missed it, I sleep in. You're getting honesty. Like, she is honest, looking in the mirror, kind of like see what needs to be addressed. So that's pretty cool. All right, so who is next? Who is next? Oh, we have 4 left. Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty cool. Sevilla music. So now we have Aries. Aries. Oops, it's going to be scrambled all over the place. Aries, let me see what do we have here for you. Scorpio in the house. You have 2 of Cups and the Magician. What the hell? Who peed in your cereal? Like, there is like this sense of disappointment, and look at that. Ugh. It's just like, I feel muddy. I feel like somebody's splattered with mud just like looking at that. So there is like this proverbial 2 of Cups. There is supposed to come together. There's like supposed to be some healing, but there is a distance. And the distance is there because not all tools can be used, or you don't have all the necessary tools. And that usually happens when a little bit of talk therapy is needed, or somebody needs to kind of like go halfway, or somebody is just like too domineering, and hence somebody is walking away. Aries, this could be you. Maybe you feel that there were like one too many blows and you just really don't want to deal with that. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who is a little bit sharp. You know, like there is like a scene that just like flew by me when I saw it, when I drew this card, and then it formed a scene. If anybody watched Queen's Gambit, so it is a scene where she invites a friend of hers to kind of like live with her in exchange for him basically tutoring her and training her in chess. And she kind of like gets a little bit abrasive with him, and then he said the same thing to her, like, you're a bit sharp for me, and that was it. He just really didn't want to continue with that. He just wanted to give as much as he can give. He knew that he did his job. He knew that he did his job well, but it was the time to move on, because he cannot be taken down because of helping somebody. So this is one of those things, you need to put yourself first, because if you're not taken care of and if you're not being healed, you will not be able to do that later. But this is also dusting off, getting energy, and this is like, look at this, we have the red and red and red. We have the motive over here. Just want to see, even though it's one black card, falseness. Yeah, there is somebody who is not telling you the truth, and you will not even stand for it. You don't want to hear it. You're finding this person is looked at as a snake. Usually falseness in a regular gypsy deck is a cat, but you have both cat and a snake. And I think it could be some woman that is kind of like messing this entire situation up, and that is really difficult to kind of like even find any middle ground. It's almost like somebody is so combative that is like really like, you know, sometimes they get into this effect and they are repeating the same freaking tune all the time. So you really need to kind of like at this moment withdraw from the situation entirely. So let's see that. Okay, sounds good, Kylie. Like to hear it. So we have 3 left, and this one is Cancer. Let's go with Cancer. 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 Seth is sleeping right behind me over here. Cancer, you have 9 of Pentacles. This one wants to come out. And the Magician. And King of Swords. What really strikes me when I compare these 3 images is that they're all very stoic. And there's like something happening inside of you that you're kind of like recognizing your own strengths. It's not like that you didn't know them before. After all, 9 of Pentacles come after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? And there's like this essence of I conquered this lesson. What most people don't understand about Cancer is that you are very sensitive to how much money you have in your bank account, and you really want to kind of collect as much as you can. So you're like financial hoarders, right? If you really want to say, you need your investment and you need to know that you are safe. That kind of like comes down to that safety, right? Proverbial kind of like armor that a crab has, right? And then the Magician shows up and it says, you know what? Yes, you're feeling comfortable. You're feeling okay. But Magician says you can do anything. Are you really sure that you really want to stay where you are? Because comfortable, it could be a trap as well. And it looks like you're making a decision. There's like some new motion coming through and you're having no less but the King. And King of Swords, he's just about to reach his sword. And this is talking about that no matter what you do, you need to keep in mind that fairness is of the utmost importance, right? Because both of them are in a sense, well, he's already holding the sword. He got it basically from the gods. He's saying, as above, so below. He said, it's my will that is going to bring back to me like a boomerang everything that I give in. But I have all the tools, even the little kind of like monkey holding it over here. So we have Pentacles, we have Wands, we have Cups, and we have Swords. But as you can see, Swords is the highest over here, right? Where he is just about to get into his own assembly and kind of like what they call it, put a crown on and see where it's going. We also have the motive of kind of like red that I can see going through these cards, which talks about feeling energized. So this could be a new beginning of some sort. I really don't think it's so much relationship-y weak, because this is generally somebody who wants to stay on their own. They don't want to compromise too much. They're really comfortable going on a spa retreat on their own or trip on their own. The Magician is also usually a singleton who's basically saying, oh my God, like, I mean, why am I dying to kind of like change the situation where I'm feeling really, really good? But King of Swords is kind of like really wise person, and he's realizing, you know what, being single is great, but like, I mean, having this counterpart or somebody, it's even better. So that's kind of like evolution of this process. So you will feel really kind of like energized this particular week, and you'll be kind of like getting out of your proverbial shell, and that's going to be really, really helpful for you, my dear Cancer. And of course I didn't put the stamp over here. Let's try to kind of like sort of like mark it, sort of. Let's try to do that. Cancers will hate me. And so we have a Leo and Capricorn left. And the first one forward will be a Leo. And let's see what we have for Leos over here. CBO music. Will my Cancer son move back home? Sounds like he's trying to figure out his money. Will he move out? Move back? It signified new beginning. So it could be, but also what would be good for you is kind of like try to figure out this understanding of some sort, that he doesn't feel that he is intruding. So maybe he will be paying some kind of rent of some sort, or you really want to see that he has the goals, and as long as he can reach those goals, that it's kind of like okay to do it that way. And there you have a Leo ascendant in the house. So let me see. Leo. Ooh, you have a Nine of Pentacles reversed. Then you have Ace of Wands. Memories. And then you have Magician. Look at that. So there is like a little fly in this ointment, and it will be this card that is reversed. So just as I was saying here for Cancer, Nine of Pentacles is a good card. In fact, I really love this card, especially for the single people. Even though this card shows you being single, this card also shows you enjoying that situation. Trust me, people who are married, they want to be single. They want to have this affection and romance and going in the restaurants and candlelight dinner. And then, you know, I come in when you're single, you're saying, okay, you know what, actually, I'm a little bit tired of all of that. I would just really like us to just quietly sit somewhere and don't even talk, that I feel this connection, right? So it's always kind of like the grass is greener kind of a thing. But when this card reverses, it's really telling me somebody who is rather putting that persona of, no, I'm just fine this way, where, you know, you are feeling this disturbance, there is feeling there is like something missing. The fly in the ointment is that this card really needs to turn around for this to move forward. So you really need to work on this. And that can be just simple as being able to be vulnerable, being able to admit that, you know, hey, it is what it is. And, you know, maybe you're financially not doing well. Maybe you're afraid of the future. Voicing things out, even to yourself, would be greatly beneficial over here. So Ace of Wands is generally a card that, you know, there is a reaching for something. You reach out. Maybe you want to reach out to someone who is single. Maybe somebody who is single is hesitant of reaching out to you, so hence this doesn't happen, right? That's kind of like how it works. Somebody says, okay, you know what? I kind of push you away because of my own, you know, inadequacies, because lack of my lack of my own self-esteem. I didn't possibly think that you would accept me, and so on and so forth, right? And the Ace of Wands is like this encouragement in the situation. And the Magician is saying, you know, I can make it work. I can make it work. Sure. What do you want me to do? It's kind of like everything is there. So maybe something didn't work in the past, but now it has the ability to work through. So keep that in mind. Or maybe this also can mean somebody finally decided, you know what, I kind of like don't want to bother with relationships. I'm really, really fine. And then somebody appears, or somebody from the past appears, and they just push your buttons and they trigger you. Just go with the flow. Magician can create miracles. So if nothing else, you'll be going from the cycle of this 21 cards in a fool's journey to kind of like really see where it takes you and what kind of lessons you kind of like bring with that. Magician tends to be singleton, but Ace of Wands tends to be reuniting with somebody from the past, and if nothing else, trying to continue on some kind of like learning process that has already started, that now has to kind of like go to its fruition, but it's still in the very early phases of a sort, if you kind of like wish this way. And then sugar comes last. We have Capricorn coming through, and just to show you, my last thing was here, Capricorn as well, so we see that as well. And let's see how, like, I mean, when I rush through, I kind of make it an hour, but usually what, we are hour and a half to hour 45, so we will do it next time. And this was flip and flop and flip and flop. It's like Two of Cups. It was going this way, then it was going that way. So maybe something is coming together, maybe something isn't coming together. Maybe you're feeling disconnection of some sort. Maybe there's like somebody from the past over here that you didn't see things eye to eye of some sort. Ooh, this is a karma card. Oh my gosh, that's a really good card. the sword in the stone. It just reminds me of these beautiful cartoons that I watched as a kid, right? So look at this. There are two twos. Two energy is the one that either is asking us to merge and you kind of like lock together, right? And like you really cannot separate, and that's kind of like that karmic pull. And sometimes we become person that we don't want to be, and like we are maybe even horrible person in a relationship, and that's because, hey, you are just brought here and now you get to play this role until the stage finishes, until the curtain is being kind of like closed. You get to play this role, right? And you don't want to play certain role anymore. Maybe you had relationships that you are always the generous person and you didn't get things back. Maybe you had relationships when you were always nurturing and you didn't get this back. Maybe there was like some element missing and you still kind of like went with the flow. Or maybe somebody never met you halfway in whatever. So, you know, like in sometimes you help others and they don't owe you, but they kind of do owe you. And whenever it was their turn, it kind of like it fell flat on the face. But then you get this Ace of Swords. Somebody is kind of going to claim this victory. There's like finally the right grip, and the right grip, the right words, the right moment. And that's why this is a karma card, that you can claim your victory. This is extremely powerful. I mean, this is all kind of like coming down to some rules. And it's all adding up to 5 only. And 5 card in tarot is the Hierophant. And a Hierophant is the rules of the divine. It's kind of like more or less the institution and corporation and big bosses and people who are influencers and people who are leaders. So this is why it's very important that you have the utmost vision, that you have pure heart, right? If you're kind of bending it to your own will or bending it to your kind of like desires, this is like at that stage including ego, instead of allowing universe to guide you to where you need to be, in which place you need to be to manifest this. And I really think you'll be allowing that. That's why you have the High Priestess. She is, as I mentioned before, a wise lady who is completely silent. So sometimes that can talk about secrets, right? Because secrets are silent and not being spoken, right? But she's balancing this card. Maybe, you know, sometimes people don't give you answers that you want to get. Some people really suffer for not getting a closure. I mean, tarot reading can give you a closure, but also you can give yourself closure, but simply kind of like communicating with this person like telepathically. And that's what the High Priestess does. This is generally suggesting either you get your tarot reading or you get like this meditation, or you're simply kind of going in this trance where all the answers have been given. But in any case, you guys, you will be like starting some new process. You'll be getting some new ideas, a new direction, and you'll actually be really encouraged. You'll feel like very enthusiastic about it and encouraged about it. So this is all good. I really, really like it. It's not generally how I get it for you. Oh, your money is going to be good, etc. No, this is really more on a kind of like spiritual side, my dear Capricorn. So now let me catch up with you guys. And did they put? And I didn't put Leo either, or Scorpio. Oh my gosh, I'm missing a whole bunch over here, and Barbie will kill me. How did I do that? Yeah. Oh, we will survive, right? Sorry, people. I was tired. I didn't put the proper stamps. I know that Barbie's there, probably looking as well. We'll figure it out. Yes, we read Aquarius. Aquarius was at 22 minutes. If you want to click back, you can go there. So let me close this down, because right now we are going to do the next round of you can ask a question and you can get the answer for yourself. So guys, you think of the question while I'll be shuffling the cards. And then also I want to do a second round of the mod cards as well. So let's see. Oh, all my things have moved when I was working on something else. Okay, so door number 1. Question for door number 1. Question for door number 2. and question for the door number 3. Okie dokie. Let's remove this. So, if you guys, thank you for telling me that your Leo is accurate. It's pretty cool. So the door number 1 is the Hermit. There is like the essence of pulling in your own self, or if you're asking for communication from someone, most likely won't happen. They're trying to figure out certain things for themselves. This has also Virgo and Aquarius attitudes in it, which could mean this is simply something very practical or something that has to be worked within. And that's the key for manifesting things on the outside. But this is still a very positive card. This is not saying this is not going to happen. This is really saying that somebody is doing soul searching. And because of that, they really need to do that. And you want to get a complete person with completely open heart when you get your answer. And it looks like the answer will be positive, but it takes some effort like on part of that person before this happens. The door number 2 is 8 of Swords. This is really telling me again, like she here is not even tied up. She's having her hands in the pockets, and why doesn't she use these hands to kind of like remove the blindfold? This to me is a little bit of a Stockholm syndrome, kind of like a card where you know better when you know this is not right, but you're still staying in a situation. This is telling you that maybe you guys overstay your welcome. There's like something that you want which is not best for your development, and it is not best because you are not really seeing it the way that other people see it. So you again need to start with acknowledging and seeing the situation maybe the way that other people would see it. Maybe ask your friends what they think about it, and something talk about relationships when you're a third party, and in that relationship it's very sweet because it's secretive, but it's generally very damaging and emotionally damaging. So ask your friends, open your heart, be vulnerable, but you have to have a real friend who will really tell you the truth, right? And the door number 3 is King of Wands. And this is overwhelming, yes. This is going to be something energetic. It can talk about, again, that somebody will need to kind of like give some answers. There's like this checkerboard, which is usually kind of like a symbol of the dominance between the good and the evil, right? But there's like somebody who conquered it and somebody who's holding still on it, right? So it's kind of like that sweet spot that you really have to find when you are dealing with somebody. If this is for a relationship, this can also be very positive for career, for work, which will be also yes on all fronts. So this is really, really good. So that's it. Let me put my mods cards here as well. And let me see if I can remember the moment saved the best for the last, the moment of appearance over here. So I think the first one was Barbie, my master moderator. This is the same thing. You're getting the same thing. You need to go snorkeling. Just kidding. It's really talking about you need to roll up your sleeves and go into deep into something. Whether this is conversation, but this is the water. There's like something emotional that you just want to withdraw yourself from it. Just go for it. Go for it, girl. It's really, really important, right? Okay, so the next one, I think it was Knitting Yogi. Knitting Yogi, you're getting contentment. And it's, I don't know, but like it's really telling me, I don't know if you already did your Christmas decoration, your Virgo, most likely you did it, but that kind of like gave me this vision of putting the ornaments up and kind of like putting your blessings in it. So now when you see the tree, it's not going to be just, oh, it looks nice. It's going to be really like you put every single bowl on it. If you have done it already, then maybe you can still revisit and assign certain kind of gratitude to each kind of like ornament. So this is kind of like what is showing. Then I think Chris was next. Chris, presence. Ooh, there you go. There's like finally something like, I mean, you're probably feeling really good. You're feeling probably energized. I don't know if you have sunshine in California, but I love this open arms kind of thing. That to me is the invitation for the universe to take us. There's like a really connective tissue. You're feeling good and things are really, really jiving properly. Then I had Kylie. See, my memory is still working. Kylie, you have freedom. Look at this. Look at this, the bare ass. It's freaking awesome. So you guys in the summer, maybe you need to go to the beach. Maybe you need to kind of like relax a little bit. This is really telling me about soaking up the sun and getting your D vitamin. Maybe like you're feeling a little bit bogged down by things, by circumstances. And so this is really telling you need to find room for yourself as well. Then I believe we had CBO music and light, you as well. So this is really, really good. It's telling you just look up, stay optimistic, look on the bright side, and things will actually continue and will continue to happen. And then we had Lynn, right? Sun in California every day. Oh my gosh, that probably is nice. I guess cloudy period is not. Is it Lynn? Awakening. Hey, this is nice in music, and also again this victory sign in kind of like reaching up your arms, and it's really, really important because it energizes you for a day. So there is like something that is really happening. Maybe spiritually you are kind of coming through. Maybe you're getting messages, you know, like I mean all of us here, we kind of get these downloads, but we don't kind of like shove it under the carpet anymore that, oh, that was just a dream or something. You actually start connecting them and understanding this. So this is really, really, really good. So let me see, have I done everything? And Lorna, healing. It almost looks like that she's putting the bandages over. It just looks so weird. Like this morning when I went to walk Tiger, I saw pussy willow, and I was like, how is it possible to see pussy willow in freaking winter? And we didn't even start with the winter. And I touched it and I thought maybe it was dried, and I thought maybe my eyes are playing kind of like tricks on me, and like I touched it, it was fresh and nice and thing, and like I thought these were maybe drops of water. So it's about 3 months or 3.5 months premature. So it's the same thing here. Maybe you're not believing your eyes, something that you really should. Maybe things bog you down. Maybe people were not nice to you. And now you're actually realizing, you know what, people are people. Crap will be crap. And it's going to be really how you see things and how you command those things, how you work these things that will kind of like affect you here in the future. And you're kind of like moving in completely new and different direction. So hopefully that really, really helps. So this is it. This is me for today. Barbie, I'm going to send you an incomplete list. So hopefully, you know, we're going to complete it with your notes as well. And thank you. I like the cards as well. They're really, really probably kind of like, you see, it took me forever to find what would be really the good thing for modes, and this is perfect. So guys, you have a wonderful week, and we still have it next week. What is it? Next week is what, 11? No, 12th. Oh yes, and we have the 19th, but then we don't have 26th, and then we'll have 2nd again. So enjoy the week, guys. You know that I love you. Let's play some musica here for kind of like goodbye thing, and I'll see you next Saturday. Ooh, that's loud.